Hi, everybody. Joe Karasin, owner and principal at Karasin PPC. Today, I am going to talk to you about another service that we offer, search engine optimization, or SEO. Those of you that own businesses, most of you probably have heard of this. Some of you might have extensive knowledge of it, some of you may not. Some of you may have some misconceptions about it. I'm here today to kind of just give you a high-level overview of SEO, what it's about, what it does, how it's helpful, and then in subsequent blog posts I will discuss more specific topics. So if you're looking for more detailed information about SEO, my suggestions would be to either schedule a consultation with us or look out for future content that we'll be producing. But let's talk high level SEO right now. So in a nutshell, what is search engine optimization? Search engine optimization is the use of what the search algorithm does to help you rank your page higher when people are searching on Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine, YouTube you might be using. So how you can do that is there's a cacophony of things you can do. We're going to talk about some of those things in general today. The first thing I want to talk about is just what I call the nuts and bolts SEO, the back end stuff, page titles, meta descriptions, alt text, all of that stuff, headlines, those kinds of things. That stuff's all done on the back end of the website. You're not going to see those things on page or on the site. You'll see them in a sense because if you title a page, you want to keep your headlines, your H1 tags, for example, consistent. So if you are creating a page about digital marketing, you should have digital marketing in your title or whatever the case may be. Like for us, for example, PPC, Karasin PPC, that should be the title of my website. And then certain pages like this page will be titled, search engine optimization, and the previous entry would be titled for pay-per-click ads or Google ads or whatever the case may be. Just keeping those things consistent. But essentially, all this stuff does is it tells the search engines what the site's about, what the page is about that they're crawling. They use these really complicated robots, they call them spiders, to crawl a page, parse out information, and then report back to the kind of upload the data into an algorithm that says, okay, this page is about SEO and that sort of thing. So the content, so we'll talk about content in a moment, but so you want to make sure that you're communicating the right things to the search engine. The other thing you want to make sure you're doing is you want to be kind of focusing on your primary purpose. What is your primary purpose? If your primary purpose is to perform digital marketing, then your content that you're going to create should all be focused on digital marketing. If I go out tomorrow and I interview a bunch of small business owners about their business and I talk to them about their sandwich shop or their local bar or the restaurant that they run, and I create these pages, I mean, it's great to have that stuff for social media, for example, but the search engine is going to be confused because they're going to say, okay, the primary purpose of KarasinPPC.com is digital marketing, but then now they've got all these different subcategories like restaurants and things like that. And your content needs to reflect what you're trying to do. On social media, it's a different story. I could go out and post all kinds of videos on our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and that's great. And that stuff is really cool for the public to see that you're involved in the community or that you have deep knowledge of your local area on some level, whatever that might be. But as far as content on your website, not the best. However, there is sort of an area where that could be helpful, and I'll describe that a little bit later in the video. But those are the kinds of things. So your content that you're producing needs to have depth and weight also. Super important concept. If you are publishing a blog about digital marketing, then you should have really rich, deep content that's interesting to users. Things like time spent on page and actions taken and bounce rate, all these sorts of things that you see in your Google Analytics report, for example, all play a part in how relevant your page looks to the search engine. If a search engine sees a page and all of a sudden it says, well, the people spend about 12 seconds on a page here, and you've got a blog post that's like at least a 5 to 10 minute read, then obviously they're not finding value in your blog post early on. So you want to make sure that you're producing relevant, deep content that provides some use to the user when they land there. Otherwise, search engine is going to say, well, this isn't relevant to the searcher, so we're going to move this down. You have to understand at the end of the day, Google, Bing, all the search engines, they consider the searcher their customer. And so they want to provide excellent customer service just like you do. And so the way they provide excellent customer service is by providing the most relevant results to a search query that they possibly can. And they use these algorithms, these big, complex computer formulas to determine what's relevant. So understanding how those work and understanding that there's certain things that you should be doing and certain things you definitely should not be doing is a huge benefit. So you want to focus on these things. The other thing you want to make sure you're focusing on are, what I would consider to be attainable keywords. Let's say you own a small shoe store in, the suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts, and you have the shoe store, and you've got a Foot Locker down the street and a Champ Sports up the road, and there's a Nike outlet down the street, and so you've got competition. Chances are online you're not going to rank for shoes. You're not even going to rank for shoes in Boston, Massachusetts. So what you really need to do is focus on keywords that when people search them, they're going to be a little more specific to what you're doing. You want to focus on what we call long-tail keywords. I'll do a blog on keywords down the road here, but suffice it to say that if you're focusing on short-tail keywords, you've got to understand that if you are in an industry where there are big Fortune 500 type players, you're going to have a real hard time getting ranked on the first page of the search engine results. You're going to have an almost impossible time getting ranked number one. And that's something that I think you won't hear any other practitioner of search engine optimization tell you. Every SEO company out there will tell you flat out, oh yeah, we're going to get you ranked number one. Right. They'll get you ranked number one for, best shoe store that sells, X shoes in, Waltham, Massachusetts or whatever. You're not going to get ranked number one for a shoe store or a shoe store near me. You might get it on the first page. That is a definite possibility. But number one, probably not going to happen. And any SEO that comes to you and says that they can get you number one for these super high competition keywords is joking. They don't have the resources, the technical know-how, or the infrastructure to provide that. It's really, I hate to say that it's impossible, but it pretty much is. So SEO exists as a way for smaller businesses to compete with, the big players in their market. But at the end of the day, the big players in the market are also performing a tremendous amount of SEO work. And so you're going to have to really focus on getting ranked for the kind of search terms that you think are attainable. That's something that, like I said, I don't think you're going to hear anywhere else. But when I founded this company, I wanted it to be an honest digital marketing agency. I didn't want to come to you and make a bunch of promises that I couldn't keep, and I didn't want people, doing this in front of the camera and telling everybody that, oh yeah, we're going to be number one and yada yada, because at the end of the day, they know they're lying to you, and I'm not going to do that. That's something that this company's founded on. Now, what other kinds of things should you take into consideration when you're talking about SEO? There's local SEO. I'm sure you've probably heard that term. What you want to do in that situation is you want to focus on hyper-local content and hyper-local on your Google My Business account. We'll talk that in another blog post or another video down the road. Just understanding how to optimize for local search. Getting ranked in the 3-pack on the maps. That is a much easier thing to do if you're performing things right than if you don't than if you're just trying to get ranked on the search engine results page proper. One of the things that you can do and is super helpful is get a bunch of reviews on Google or other search engine sites. If you get 100 5-star reviews on Google, and let's say the bigger store down the road only has 2, your site is going to rank in that maps on the top 3 only because you have so much authenticity associated with these consumer reviews that are being left. So getting customer reviews is huge. Getting listed in directories, being listed in Yelp and on Google and in other types of search directories, big time importance. And don't negate directories just because they're not super well known. Being listed in the directory for the for your local town is great. That's a huge benefit, and don't let anybody tell you it's not, because it is. Another benefit, another great thing to do for SEO is to get backlinks. And here's what we were talking about earlier. We talked about local content and content sharing with other businesses. This is where it can be beneficial for SEO. Is if you do some sort of video program with another local business, make sure you guys are linking to each other's websites. You want to give backlinks and trade backlinks with local businesses and with other websites. One of the things that I found beneficial over the years has been to get cited in much bigger companies' publications. A lot of these companies like Forbes and some other heavy writing companies or magazines, they outsource a lot of their writing, and they say okay, we're going to get the top 50 SEO people to tell you about local SEO or whatever. I've been cited in DataBox probably a dozen times, and that helps. That helps crank your domain up the list. So make sure that you're getting high quality backlinks, and understanding the quality of a backlink is extremely important. Understanding that not every backlink is good. If you're getting linked from domains that are not ranked as high as yours or higher, not a great backlink. It's not awful, but it's not the best. Getting linked from pages that have low page authority is also not great. You want to make sure that you're getting listed in these high density blogs that have a lot of content in them, so that way you are you're getting referenced better. I had a friend, my friend Mike Lucy. He's a brilliant marketing guy, and he said it's kind of like you're the new kid in school. Do you want the star of the high school football team to introduce you, or do you want the president of the AV club to introduce you? Everybody wants the captain of the football team to take them around school and introduce everybody. And that's sort of what happens if you're getting cited on some of these high authority websites or blogs or pages. So definitely something to take into consideration. So why am I telling you all this? Why am I going on now for almost 15 minutes about SEO and telling you all these things? The truth of the matter is that I feel there's a lot of confusion out there about SEO and what works and what doesn't. And I feel like, if I can do anything to give you maybe some actionable insights into what you're doing or what you can do, then I'm doing my job. But if you are, a small business owner, you probably have a million other things to think about. And this shouldn't have to be one of them. You can hire a reasonably priced digital marketing firm, us, and we can perform SEO for you. The other thing to kind of take into consideration is what kind of SEO work you're getting. Most firms will charge you tiered pricing, and they say we'll get you ranked for a keyword for $100 a month, or 10 keywords for $1,000 a month, or whatever the case may be. We don't do that here. I think that that's sort of disingenuous. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is charging a reasonable flat rate for SEO service over time. So, we have a flat rate based on what your goals are. You'll never pay more than $600 a month for SEO with our firm. That's a guarantee. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, because obviously I've been talking for a while, and I hope that if you are interested and you're looking to get your organic search performance increased, go ahead and fill out a form and request a consultation. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have, and actually give you a free page analysis so we can kind of give you an idea of where you're at and what we think you could do to improve. We'll give you actual actionable items. We're not just going to say like, oh yeah, you need to improve this. We'll tell you exactly what to do. And then it's up to you whether you want to go ahead and do it or you want to hire us to do it for you. But everything we give you will be something you can do to improve your SEO. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, we're not going to sit there and always tell you it's bad either. If you're doing a great job, we're just going to say, hey, listen, you know what? We're not seeing a whole lot you can improve here. Just keep doing what you're doing. I can't tell you how many people I've actually told, I don't think you need me. I don't think you need my service because you're doing a great job of it on your own, or you have somebody who's already doing it and they're doing a great job, so you don't need to pay me. And that's the kind of transparency I've always wanted to have in a digital marketing firm, and that's why Karasin PPC exists. So if you guys are curious about it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to talk to you and run an analysis. And thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.